Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing the DIDI index indicator.
But before we do, if you have not watched my first video and the videos after that, you need to go do that right now. Here at the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team, and as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down in the description below. You can also find a link to our Discord server, so that way we can all discuss testing indicators and building our trading system. And lastly, you can find a link below to TradingView. If you sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money using the link below.
Alright, as I said, today we will be testing the DIDI index indicator. But before we do, wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 104 indicators. And out of those 104 indicators, 38 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch the videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you could take any one of those 38 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. Alright, as I said, today's indicator is the DIDI index indicator. The setup on it is basically a two-line cross, and it also has a zero line. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I am going to bump up the weight and the opacity of these lines. There we go. Makes them a little bit easier to see. Okay, so like I said, it is a two-line indicator, two-line cross. It does have a zero line. Now, in my research of this indicator, I discovered two basic ways of, two basic ways that people recommended it should be used to get signals. And so we have the basic two-line cross. And that's pretty simple. We've dealt with that many times before. We have the green line, we have the red line. When the green line crosses up above the red line, that is a signal to go long. When the red line crosses up above the green line, that is a signal to go short. And so, like I said, we've played around with quite a few indicators that act very similar to this. Now, I did run across a few people who said that for it to have the most accurate signals, that you should be taking the crosses that are close to the zero line. And so, yeah, that's, it's an interesting take on how the indicator should be used. I mean, definitely there is a zero line there, and so we can only assume that the zero line was put there for a reason. And so the problem I have with that is it gets rather subjective when you say the cross should take place close to the zero line. How do we define close? I mean, we can define it with our own parameters if we wanted to. We could say, the cross would have to take place within the, I don't know, what, 0.003 and negative 0.003. Like, it would have to take place within that zone for it to be considered a valid trade. And so I'm kind of torn on this one. Like I said, I definitely feel like the zero line was put there for a reason. And so I hate to ignore it, but at the same time, if we just say close to the zero line, then there's a lot of interpretation that goes into close to the zero line. If we start adding in our own range to it, then, we're essentially modifying the indicator quite a bit for, our own purposes, which I am not a fan of doing. And I'm not a fan of doing that because of, again, as I've said many times before, the indicator without modification should be able to achieve a 60% win rate. And that gives us a really good foundation to start on, build off of. And if it can achieve a 60% win rate on the basic default settings and the default signal method, then as we go in and start making small tweaks and dialing it in, hypothetically speaking, we should be able to increase the efficiency of it. Now, if we start making small tweaks and dialing it in, and that is how we test it initially, and it only achieves 60%, then there's a good chance that it's never going to get much better than that 60%. And 60% isn't horrible, but 60% really isn't the threshold that we are striving for at the end of this journey. 60% basically is just a break-even threshold. And so, at 60%, we're basically breaking even on losses versus wins. If we were to take the trade, if we were to exit the trade at first take profit and, leave it at that, it would be break even. And so we definitely want to have the ability to increase the efficiency of an indicator. So with all that being said, I think the best way to go about this is to handle it as a simple two-line cross indicator. When the green crosses up above, that's a long. When the red crosses up above, that's a short. And its orientation around the zero line, I don't think is a good idea to put much weight behind that at the moment. Not to mention, looking back historically on this indicator, that's not going to give us very many trades. if we are taking only the trades that are basically right on the zero line. We're going to end up with like one trade in a year, drastically under trading, and either way we go about it, you know, we're kind of it's kind of a lose-lose situation there. So, all right. Again, with all that being said, now that I've rambled on and rambled on, we are going to test it just as I said, a two-line cross, and let's see what we can get out of it doing that. All right, so we had our first cross take place right here. It's a short, and unfortunately it cupped out here and took off back to the upside. You see here that there's this big cup and handle that took place right here, and definitely wiped us out when it made this cross back to green. Took off there. So the first one would have been a losing trade right there. Then we pick up the second one, and it appears not quite. Let's play it forward just a little bit here, see what it does. Losing some momentum there, so let's play it out. I think, yep, that one barely edged it out right there. So first trade, first win on that particular one. Second trade, first win. Oh, look at that. Wouldn't have come down, and then it shot up out of there. Real strong move to the upside. Should be looking for weakness now. Weakness in the move. You can kind of see a divergence starting to appear here, where this peak here and this peak here, this peak being a lot lower than this one, even though they're almost equal to each other. This one's actually closed a little bit above. It double topped out here, and so it's very likely that we're going to see a push to the downside now. There we go. Unfortunately, nope, it looked like we might have edged out the, let's see if I can get it here. We did. We picked up the win on that one, ever so slightly. I can already tell that it's a little slow in its reaction time to cross. I'm not a huge fan of that. Let's see, it crossed up above here for a moment, then turned around and dropped right back down. Giving us a short right there. And that short did get us in the profit. So we'll keep plugging along here. There we go. We got another one right there. That one also got us in the profit. Let's see, we're reaching this zone right here where last time it double topped, dropped out on us. No real clear divergence at the moment happening on the indicator. Did drop way down here. No cross yet. Keep playing it out here. See what it does. Little bit of divergence taking place right here on this one. You can see if we line up these two peaks here, this one right here was slightly lower than this one right here, even though this actually achieved a higher high than this one here. And considering how it struggled to make that move right there, had this strong push down here, we could possibly see it start to make some movement down. There There we go. We had confirmation with the indicator that the down move was coming. So there we go. Picked up another win on that. You can see here that this is way overextended here, the red line. It's way out there. Yeah, I think that's about the highest I've seen in quite a bit. Oh, nope, it made a few down here, but I mean, that was some massive movement back there. So this thing is way overextended here. Let's see what it does. Continue down a little bit, but you can see that it is definitely not doing it with any kind of conviction. You can see here that it is starting to narrow in here, losing the momentum. This is a good sign here that we could probably start to see some price action trying to make its way back up, especially if we get a cross here of these two. They're really starting to narrow in now, and the green broke up above that zero line. And so let's see what it does. There's our cross right there. It's made a decent little move right here, so it might want to try to pull back a little bit to relieve some of that pressure. But it's definitely trying to make its way back up now. There's the pullback. Like I said, it didn't really bounce here and have a chance to relieve that pressure. Just pulled back into this area really strong, and often we see that it's when it does that, it tries to pull back into that zone again. And so yeah, we definitely took a loss on that one. And we picked up a short signal here, but little leery in the fact that it's double bottoming right here in this area, and so definitely would be a scary proposition taking a trade right there. I mean, it could crash back down below that zone right here, this double bottom, and really make another push down, but that was a pretty significant area that it bounced off of last time and made a strong push up. And so, and you can see here that it's definitely not making this downward push with any kind of large momentum as far as our indicator is showing here. So let's play it out a little bit and see what it does. Man, it broke for a moment. Yep, it broke down, then pulled itself back up into that zone, bouncing off the ceiling, pushing back down. You can see the indicator is starting to pick up some momentum there. But at this point, this move is way overextended down into here, and so we had this really big engulfing candle right here. And we see this pattern right here a lot. It's at the end of a strong move, comes down, does this little wind up right here. I call this a cup and handle. I know technically speaking, cup and handle typically has a lot more price action movement to it. Like I said, we saw that, where was it? I think it was back in here somewhere, where we saw a movement like this. Strong sweeping bull here, and then another had a slight pullback here, and as soon as it broke above this level right here, which was the brim of the cup, then it made another strong push up. I call this a cup and handle because it is very similar to it. Sweeps down, has this large engulfing candle right here, and then it does another small swoop here for the handle, and then generally we see it break this area right here, and has a push to the upside. I've seen it many times, and it is generally a very strong price action signal, especially at the end of a really long move, that we could get a good trade out of it. Now, of course, there's no guarantees, and our indicator is not exactly lining up with it, but let's play it out, see what it does. There you go. So, wasn't a massive move, but it would have gotten us to take profit if we would have entered in that area. And so I see that price action pattern a lot, and often whenever I do, it has enough momentum that it would have made it to our take profit. So back to our indicator here. We got a long signal right there. Unfortunately, it wasn't soon enough, and so we would not have, let me double check. Nope, we did not get the win on that one. We have this one here, came down for a short, and we were able to get the win off that one. Plugging along here. Plugging along. All right, so getting really close to having a cross here. Let's play it out a little bit more, see what it does. Again, we're seeing kind of similar to that same pattern again, not quite as tight. Often when we see it in such a tight little pattern like this one, where it happens within 4 or 5 price action bars, those are the ones that I notice more often than not. But here's another example of a cup and handle style pattern that is taking place. And so our indicator seems to be getting really close to making a cross here. Let's see what happens. Generally, what we're looking for, if we were going to trade this as a price action pattern, is that it would break above this neckline right here, and that would be an entry to then go long. This has been making a long move down for a while now, and so it's really due for a move back up at this point. And so that, coupled with this kind of a price action type setup and the fact that our indicator is narrowing in really close, starting to line up a lot of different patterns, a lot of different signals all in one, that we could see price action that takes off to the upside. Let's see what happens. Price action broke up there for a moment, and there you see it's starting to make an uptrend now. And so that's what we see. We see once it breaks that neckline, we get a real strong push up, because everybody sees this and this kind of a price action movement, and they all say, yes, I recognize that, and if it breaks that neckline, we should go long. Now, did it come down here? Let me do this first. Let's see if it came down. It's not sure if we would have gotten to take profit on it. Let's measure upwards. Yeah, we would have picked up take profit on it. And so, and right about the same time, we had the cross of our indicator. And so that is a prime example of when I say that price action is good. Price action is very subjective, though. Everybody looks at it differently. This is something that we talk about on the Discord server. If you haven't joined our Discord server, I encourage you to do so. It's absolutely free. It's just a bunch of us live chatting throughout the day, talking about the different indicators and setups, and far beyond what we're doing here. I mean, we're talking about different time frames. We're talking about just, all kinds of different aspects of trading, and one of them being price action. And so that's one of the things that we talk about in there is how subjective price action is. Um, you can see a setup like this, price action setup like this right here, and there will be a whole bunch of people that will say that is clearly a cup and handle pattern taking place right there. And then there are other people who will sit back and they'll say, nope, sorry, technically speaking, that is not a cup and handle pattern. And so, but my argument is it may not technically, per exact specification of one person's idea, be a cup and handle pattern, but it still got us a winning trade. And so it's not wrong if it works, in my opinion. And so that's the second time that we've seen a price action pattern that set up very similar to a mini cup and handle style pattern, and both of them would have gotten us a winning trade. And so yeah, that's one of them instances where I say that price action should accompany good indicators. Your indicators should be giving you the signal, and when they do, you should be looking for other signs that the indicator is in the correct area at the correct time. And that was one of them. Right as this was setting up, right before it broke the neckline, we got a cross of our indicator right here. And that, with the strong downtrend that had taken place, the cup and handle style pattern setup, we met a lot of points on our checklist that would have given us a lot of confidence that that trade was going to work and get us to at least first take profit. All right, we're on the next trade right there. Then we get another downtrend right there for another short. Getting close to the end of the year now. Let's see. Another cross right there. Not sure if it took place right on that one or not. I'm going to say no. I'm going to mark that one as a loser, unfortunately. Then we had a downtrend here. Let's see on that one. Then it come way down really fast. So that would have set us up right. We're almost to the end of the year. Let's see if we can squeeze out one more signal. We're in December now. It's going down, down, down. Let's see if we get... We did have a moment. Did we cross? Where did we cross? Let's see. Right there. Boy, that was right on the end of the year before it came down, and unfortunately would have stopped us out on that one. So, all right, there we have it. That's the end of the year. Let's add them up and see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 signals all together. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We have 12 winning signals, and so that met the 60% criteria. All in all, didn't seem like a bad indicator. It seemed like it was calling trades at relatively decent places, and so yeah, not bad at all. Not the greatest that we've had, but yeah, not horrible either. And so it'll definitely go on the yes list, and we'll move on to the next indicator from here.
If you have not already, like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. As part of the team, it's important that you are seeing the new videos as they come out so you know what it is that we are discussing and what indicators we are testing, have tested, and have not tested. Also, like usual, there is a link below in the description to the Discord server. You can join us on Discord so that way we can further discuss the indicators and have discussions as we move forward building our trading system. And lastly, like usual, there is a link below to TradingView. If you like what you see whenever I use TradingView, and you are interested in signing up for TradingView, if you use the link below and sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money. So, all right, everybody, I will see you